In this video, I'm going to be going over exactly how I cracked eating 3,000 calories on my bulk daily, and I have done 4 bulks over my time, and over this period of time of 5 years, I have been able to gain over 60 pounds of lean mass and completely change my physique. Over the course of 3 of my most recent bulks, I've been able to gain over 20 pounds in just 180 days each time because I've been so consistent and I've absolutely nailed my diet. And I'm going to teach you how you can do the exact same thing if you follow these 8 steps. And these 8 steps are still what I follow to this day and exactly what I help my clients do, which has helped them gain over 5 kilos in 3.5 months. So it works, and if you do it and if you follow it correctly, it should certainly work for you as well. Without further ado, let's get into the first step. The first step is to not eat in a calorie surplus. By not eating in a calorie surplus, what I mean is you want to find your maintenance calories. Basically, the amount of calories you need to eat every day if you want to stay at the exact same weight. Hence why it's called maintenance calories. And obviously, maintenance calories will be less than our calorie surplus goal. Therefore, we want to train our body to be able to eat in a calorie surplus and just get consistent at eating that first. Why would you try and eat in a calorie surplus consistently before you even know that you can eat at your maintenance calories consistently? It just doesn't make sense. And also, you need to train your stomach to be able to withstand those calories, and you do that through slowly increasing the calories as you go. So if you go down to the link in the description, you will see I have linked a calorie calculator. You want to type in your stats, so your age, your body weight, obviously your gender, hopefully your gender's on there, your activity level and that jazz, and then you want to click calculate, and then you'll see your maintenance calories or even a little calorie deficit, and you just want to try and match those calories every day for a couple of weeks and just get consistent at that. Okay, so that is step one. Don't eat at a calorie surplus, and that will help you eventually eat in a calorie surplus. The second thing that I want you to do is decide how many meals you're going to have a day. Life without a goal and life without a vision is absolute chaos. If you want to gain weight and if you want to eat so many calories in a day but you don't know how you're going to do that, that's like wanting to go to Newcastle from the south of England and not having a roadmap on how to navigate that 7-hour journey up there. You're going to get lost, you're going to be taking U-turns, and before you know it, you'll probably end up back at home. You want to know exactly how you're going to approach eating these calories throughout the day. So making sure you know how many meals you're going to eat a day is very, very important. Honestly, recommend 4 to 5 meals a day, but anywhere from that 3 to 5 meals, that should be okay for now. So decide how many meals you're going to eat a day, and then we can move on to stage 3. So now moving on to stage 3, which is just what you should be aware of when eating your meals. You just want to keep your meals as simple and as consistent as possible. Honestly, you do want to have variety to your diet. Of course, we want to be eating different meals. We want to be keeping it entertaining. We don't want to get bored. But the more consistent you can keep your meals on most days of the week, the easier it's going to be to stick to your diet, because you don't want to be faffing around with 1,000 different ingredients and 1,000 different recipes. Find recipes that you enjoy and that you genuinely can't get bored of, that are healthy, efficient, high protein, and will contribute towards you achieving your goal, and just stick to them. And I'll give you a great example of this. Tuna and rice, for me, is an absolute staple. I basically have tuna and rice every day, and if I were to fill up my bedroom with the amount of tuna cans I've had in the last 2 years, I would probably be drowning in it. Because I have that every day, it becomes quicker and easier to make, and it's so simple, minimal ingredients, takes minimal time, therefore I can get the calories down me, right? And it's super duper simple. Honestly, the trick to bulking is to minimize the time between you starting to cook and you eating the meal. The longer the time, it's, you know, you're going to face more resistance, you're going to procrastinate cooking the meals, and you're not going to be bulking. But if one of your staple meals in a day was an 800 calorie protein shake that takes 2 minutes, you would have absolutely no problem getting that down compared to cooking some Michelin star recipe for an hour. The fourth thing that you need to do now is you need to start forming your routine. Okay, if you don't have your life organized, then if you don't have your body clock and your circadian rhythm organized, then how do you expect to perform well and do things to a good standard throughout the day? And I'll give you guys a great example. If you were to be assigned to cook the Christmas dinner for your family and you went into the kitchen, now there's 2 scenarios. Scenario A is you go into the kitchen and it's an absolute state. There's so much mess in the kitchen that you can't even see the floor because there's that much garbage everywhere. Scenario B, You walked into the kitchen and everything was spotless, clean, there was nothing out, everything was in its place. What do you think, A, you'll be able to operate easier in, and B, where do you think you'll be able to cook a nicer meal for your family? Obviously in the kitchen B, because it's clean, it's organized, and you know where everything is, so it's going to be a lot easier. And it's the exact same thing with forming a routine and importance to having organization in your life. If you're chaotic and you don't have a sleep time, your schedule isn't consistent, you don't keep up with your calendar, you don't plan your days, then it's going to get very, very difficult. You know what they say in football and other sports, off the pitch behavior is just as important as on the pitch behavior, because what you do off the pitch determines exactly your performance on the pitch. If I'm being honest, if I had to pick a stage in this process that matters the most, it would be this one. Before actually trying to eat in a calorie surplus and go to the gym consistently, if your life is a mess, sort that out first. Get yourself organized and then just build your foundations. Then it's going to be so much easier to keep up with a bulking diet. The fifth thing links to number 4, and that is your sleep. We all run on what's called our circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is our body clock. 24 hours. We have times in our circadian rhythm where we're sleeping and where we're awake. If we're sleeping at completely different times, then that means we're going to be awake at different times. And that also means that you're going to be eating at different times and your meal times are going to be absolutely all over the place. Having a crazy sleep schedule, like going to bed at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday and then 9 p.m. on a Thursday, what that's going to do is confuse your body as to when you're going to carry out the things you do in a day. For example, eat, train, sleep, rest, work. Your body operates best when you're predictable with your habits. If you usually eat at 5 p.m, then your body is going to start to clock onto this and it's actually going to start to make you hungry at 5 p.m. And the reason why your body does this and it will make you hungry at the time you need to eat is because we need to survive, right? Obviously eating helps us survive and our body is optimized to survive, so it will do everything in its power to survive. So if it knows when we eat, then we're going to find it so easy. And it's through sleep and consistent sleep, most importantly, whether that's with the time you go to bed and the time you wake up, or the consistency and the quality. Your metabolism's going to be faster, therefore you're going to be hungrier more. You're going to be more energized, you're going to be feeling more motivated to get after it. You've got to think about your sleep just like a charger to a phone. If you have a slow charger with your phone, that's like you having shit sleep. You don't want to wake up at 60%, you want to wake up at 90 to 100%, and then you're going to operate better, you're going to be able to eat more, you're going to train harder, you're going to make more progress. Get a fixed wake up time and get a fixed sleep time, and your life will change genuinely. So sleep is absolutely crucial. So I don't want to keep you on that 5th stage forever because I think you get the point. But on to number 6, we need to prepare meals in advance. We have jobs, we have responsibilities, we have family to look after, friends to see, we've got kids to look after. Well, some of you, not me personally. But yeah, sometimes I'm out all day and I still need to get my meals in, and I don't want to be spending stupid money on meal deals that consist of ridiculously processed foods that are so unhealthy for you. So you need to prepare your meals in advance. So what you want to do is you just want to prepare a little system for yourself. If you're out all day on Thursday, you might want to spend a couple of hours on Wednesday in the evening just preparing meals for the next day. And then you put them in the fridge and then you grab them, off you go, get out of there. And ideally, in order to make meal prep easy, you want to keep the meals consistent that you cook. Now, onto the penultimate stage of this process is simply just execution. Executing everything that we've done so far. So actually starting to eat at your maintenance calories, or even in a slight calorie deficit if you need to start at that point and get consistent. I mean, the only thing that matters in that point is just consistency. And then you know how many meals you're going to eat a day. So for example, if you want to start eating 3 meals a day, you start getting consistent at that. Okay, and then you keep your meals simple and consistent, so you have a rotation of a handful of meals, like a protein shake, an egg meal, spaghetti, pasta, rice, and with obviously protein. And then, you know, you've formed your routine, you're planning every day, you're keeping up with your calendar, you're sorting your life out, and you're improving your sleep as well. And now you're forming your meal prep system. It's time to put this into practice. In the execution stage, you want to make eating your meals a non-negotiable. The goal is the only thing that should matter to you. Obviously, you've got other responsibilities, but if you want to achieve your goal, you've got to make these things an absolute non-negotiable, and you've got to make these things a hygiene standard just as autonomous as brushing your teeth in the morning, having a shower, and going to bed. You don't think about doing them, you just do them. Now, on to the final stage, which is number 8, and this is progressing the calories up towards surplus. Now it's time to slowly increase the calories as you're able to withstand them. You'll probably find after a week you have your initial calorie goal, whether that's maintenance or slightly in a deficit. You know, it's getting quite easy. Now you want to just slowly increase the calories up until a point where you're in a 100 to 300 calorie surplus. Process should honestly take you 4 weeks at the absolute max. I would say 4 to 6 weeks, because it can obviously differ for some people. That is basically the 8-step protocol that I have practically followed that has helped me gain 60 pounds just over 5 years actually. If you have enjoyed this video and you're going to act on these straight away and you're finally going to start making a progress, make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and also if you want to stay around for more videos like this and more systems and more frameworks, and drop a subscription. And just before you guys leave, I want your attention for a little bit longer. So if you do want more information from me and you actually want to learn you know, more about how I operate, you want to get access to a network of like-minded guys on the exact same journey as you, trying to bulk, go from skinny to muscular, then I have a free community where I'm helping over 300 men on the exact same journey as you. And here is just a peek of all of the results and all the wins and all the progress that everyone is making. So you can become a part of this if you want, or if you want to take it to the next level like these guys and make crazy transformations and make some sick progress over the next 180 days, we can talk about more what I could offer one-to-one, how I can actually help you implement this in a personalized way. I'll see you later.